As I'm sitting here drinking my A&W carbonated beverage, a root beer, I was wondering, what even is root beer? I like to drink it because it's sweet and there's no caffeine in it, so I can just enjoy bubbly goodness without getting too overstimulated. All I need is a big sugar boost. I don't need that caffeine most of the time. So root beer is usually my soda of choice. But it got me thinking, what even is it? It's kind of spicy. It's really sweet, kind of creamy. Like it's syrupy. I mean, it's soda. What do I say? It's like got a creamy frothiness to it that pairs well with its little spicy kick, but it's not too spicy. It's not like Dr. Pepper or like the bite of a Coke, it's subtle. So, but what the heck is root beer? What is it? Well, let's see here. Let's see, what am I drinking? And why is it even called root beer? Well, guess what, kids? Root beer ain't just made up out of nowhere. All right? Root beer is actually made from a root. Well, it used to be. Is it today? We'll find out. Root beer's flavor profile is from the sassafras root. Well, yeah, I've heard about sassafras before. I feel like I've heard it in the terms of like drug usage. I don't know, it's like in a Green Day song, but a drink? Sassafras root as a innocent, sweet drink. Using the root bark of the sassafras tree is how we flavor this soda. Root beer, it's been around for a while now. It's seen as long ago as the 1840s, even the 1830s, and it used to be consumed as a hot beverage. I can't even imagine that now, especially because one of my favorite ways to drink root beer is with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. It's like even colder. It's like a dessert, but a hot beverage? That sounds crazy. But it's because it was used as a medicine, which kind of makes sense since sassafras root, a lot of natural herb remedies were used back in the day. I don't know what the point of it being hot was. Maybe to clear up your sinuses or something. What was that? What was it even for? Medical intent. But what does that mean? Like, what kind of medical intent? Medicinal qualities. What is this? What does it say here? There's this journal from the 1830s. It's a medical journal that writes about root beer. So we see here how far back root beer was consumed, although in a different way back then. So it says here in this journal, the means of preventing disease and promoting health and longevity. There's a section on food and drink and fermented liquors. Here we go. So root beer used to be made through fermentation, like beer. That makes sense because it's root beer, so that's how we got the name for it. Of course, now it's made of carbonated water. So in this journal, they call it medical or root beer. The following beer will not only be found a substitute for many common drinks, but a very pleasant and wholesome beverage. I'd like to agree. It is a very pleasant and wholesome beverage, if I do say so myself. Besides, it possesses alternative properties. Attenuates viscid humors. What does that even mean? Viscid humors. Attenuates. So it will reduce. What's the word? Viscid. Sticky. Ooh, humors, bodily fluids, bile, phlegm. Okay, so it'll reduce your sticky bodily fluids, maybe phlegm, snot. Oh my god, that's so funny. So it's like something for when you're sick. So it attenuates viscid humors and purifies the blood. My blood is getting so pure right now. So you take sassafras root, burdock root, wild cherry tree bark of the root of black alder, make a strong decoction by boiling for several hours, strain, sweeten well with molasses or honey, then add when it is blood warm. I'm going to use that now instead of lukewarm. or, body temp, blood warm. Oh, no, I can't drink that unless it's blood warm. Then add when it is blood warm sufficient yeast to ferment it. In a short time, or as soon as it commences fermentation, it is fit for use. This may be freely taken as a diet drink. It is very pleasant and excellent to prevent disease and keep the system in a healthy state, and it is grateful and cooling in all kinds of fevers. Root beer has come a long way. Definitely not used for medical purposes anymore, and I can see how with this recipe, this would seem to be quite healthy. It's almost like a tea. Like it's just made with a whole bunch of plant parts and then extracted all of their properties, healing properties, medicinal properties, sweetened it a little bit with some molasses and honey, and it was a tasty little drink. I can't imagine what that even tastes like. I bet that's really strong tasting and probably not that good. What it is today is just super sweet and delicious. So thank you, Medical Root Beer, for paving the way for this delicious drink. But today we do not use any type of root in root beer. Sassafras root as an ingredient got banned by the Food and Drug Administration in 1960 due to it being carcinogenic. So if you're trying to find authentic root beer with sassafras root, it's not going to happen. So if you see any sassafras root beer at the farmer's market made by your local brewer, maybe don't try that one. The part of the sassafras root, saffrol, is what's been banned. So most of these sodas today use artificial sassafras flavoring, but there are some saffrol-free sassafras extracts that people use, but mostly just artificial flavoring these days, which I don't mind. It tastes good. In order for a drink as old as the 1830s to make it to today in the 25s, it had to have some good branding, some marketing going on to keep it in people's households, keep it in their hands. Pharmacist Charles Elmer Hires was the first to successfully market a commercial brand of the root beer. Well, we don't hear that one today. When I think of root beer, I think of A&W or Barks, not Hires. But hey, Hires began the market, so we have what we have today. Originally, his was made as a root tea, then eventually a root beer. And then he also made an extract. Considering the root tea branding was more medicinal, Hires instead started to call it root beer in order to sell the products to coal miners. And by the 1890s, root beer was bottled and widely distributed across the United States. And it was especially successful because at this time, the prohibition was in full swing and nobody could really drink alcohol or legally do it, so root beer was a fun little bubbly alternative that didn't have alcohol but still had a fizzy, foamy drinking experience. One of the root beer brands that is still around today, Barks, is original competitor of the Hires root beer back then, although Barks was actually made with a different root, sarsaparilla, and was also being sold in the 1890s. And then the thing that started this whole rabbit hole for me is the A&W root beer that I'm drinking right now. On the can, it says, since 1919. And look at that. Roy Allen opened his root beer stand in Lodi, California, of all places, and made A&W root beer. What made A&W stand out compared to the other bottled root beers was that A&W root beers was served in a frosty, cold mug that gave it a signature look to stand out from the rest of root beers. On today's shelves, you can find root beers in cans, bottles, 2 liters, and the ingredients are, of course, the saffrol-free sassafras extract, so there still is some of that flavor, that extract, but without the saffrol, and other flavors that give it its unique taste, like vanilla, caramel, There's even some wintergreen in there, cherry bark, licorice root, sarsaparilla root, nutmeg, molasses, cinnamon, those types of flavor profiles. Mostly extracts and artificial versions. And we have sugar, of course, water, that classic caramel coloring brought together in a delicious carbonated liquid. All right, well, there you go. That's root beer for you. Good old American classic. Been around a little bit over 100 years, and it's still going strong. I'm gonna get back to sipping my soda over here and purifying my blood.
Thank you.